If you love chilling mysteries, unsolved cases, and a touch of mom-style humor, Moms and Mysteries is the podcast you've been searching for. Hey guys, I'm Mandy.
And I'm Melissa. Join us every Tuesday for Moms and Mysteries, your gateway to gripping, well-researched true crime stories. Each week, we deep dive into a variety of mind-boggling cases as we shed light on everything from heists to whodunits. We're your go-to podcast for mysteries with a motherly touch. Subscribe now to Moms and Mysteries wherever you get your podcasts.
Stevie B! Look at you.
What's going on, man?
Oh my gosh. It is great to be back here on That's Awesome. You know, it's funny. People have
That's
asked,
awesome.
woo! You
With
know,
Steve and Brad.
well, it's just funny, but people said, well, why don't you go back to calling it the Stone Cold and Jackal podcast? And, you know, when we made our first transition from being independent to a podcast network, that podcast network happened to have Steve Austin doing a podcast.
Yeah. So that didn't work.
And he couldn't even use it.
He couldn't use the name. So if he couldn't use it, there's no way
Yeah.
we can use it. So we would say That's Awesome way too much. And that's what the podcast became. That's Awesome. And then we were over at Daily Drama for a little while, which is no longer.
Right.
So now we're back over here. This is our first podcast back.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing a lot, mainly on our Facebook page. Like, we have so much content. We got a great team now. This is going to be a great place for kind of all things General Hospital.
That's right.
We want this to be a hub for that, for us, all the content we have here at work, on the road, soap news, GH news, cool news. It's just going to be a cool place to hang out. We're going to do some viewing parties. We already have those. Like, you know way more than I do, but I drank a lot of coffee, so I have to talk. No, go ahead. Fill them in.
Well, that's the thing. So you might have noticed our Facebook page looks a little bit different. You know, because we've had that. The Facebook page is kind of where, like, was the base of where we started.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we started that probably, 7 years ago. And, you know, but we realized over the last couple of years, especially since we were having our podcast somewhere else, it just became kind of it wasn't dormant. We still were posting, but it was all about our tour and stuff. And we wanted it to be more of a place, a really just friendly place for the GH fan. And, you know, and we always wish we could talk about the show more than we do, because we don't know as much about the show as you guys do.
Sure.
But yeah, so now the Facebook page is a hub of General Hospital activity. And now that we're making podcasts and content again, you're going to see clips of that on our Facebook page. You're going to see a lot more of us on our Facebook page, because we're making stuff again. And we're so excited to be making stuff again. Thank you for your patience. I know this transition has been a little confusing. It's like, because, well, what are you guys doing on YouTube? Well, we didn't have our YouTube page for a while because it was still property of someone else. So we're kind of spreading our content out a little bit. But Facebook is kind of the home, and Patreon is kicking, and we're just happy to be back with you all. So thank you.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great community. That's what we want to kind of create, you know. That's what we have with Stone Cold and the Jackal, you know, and being on the road. We always talk about there's people who come to our shows alone and then end up leaving with friends. So that's kind of what we want to do.
And that is like
Facebook page too.
Totally.
So
that's right.
That's
come
cool.
in, find a community. And I know you, Steve, you said watch parties. We have this group, and this group within Stone Cold and the Jackal, and it's the GH watch party. So basically, if you're watching the show and you want to watch it with friends, you just go in there and, you know, just share your thoughts and feelings, share your likes, your dislikes.
Are we going to get in there one day or what?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So,
that'll be interesting.
Yeah. So fun. It's so fun. You know what? It's funny. We tried to do a live watch party sometime with me, but we're on the West Coast and a lot of our friends are on the East Coast, and I can't watch the East. Neither of us can watch the East Coast feed and react in real time.
Right.
The one time that I did do it, it was, I was FaceTiming with someone else who had it on their iPad.
Oh, that's funny, dude.
And that worked, but it wasn't ideal.
No, it's not ideal.
So anyway, but Yeah. So if you're not following us on Facebook, Stone Cold and the Jackal on Facebook is kind of where it's at. Yeah, but if you're like, wait a second, this looks a little bit different. Yes, we're posting a lot of GH related content. Steve's computer is dying. Does that mean we have to take a break?
No. I don't have a charger, so we're gonna get this in for 10 minutes and hope for the best.
Well, so that's the first part of the news. It's just kind of explaining what's going on. Obviously, there's a lot of other news going on, i.e., there's a nurses' ball happening on GH, and you may have heard the news that Steve is truly off the market. He's been off the market for a couple of years now, but now it's legal.
It's official. Yeah, it's an amazing. It's been an amazing journey, quite honestly. It's been incredible, and when we can really get into it and talk about it, it amazes me. And now it's official, and it's awesome. It was better than we ever could have imagined.
I'm so glad to hear that, because
thank you.
Well, you plan something, you want it to be a day that you can relax and just be present in. And so you try to set up all those things, whether it's with planners or whatever it is. So
as you can imagine, there's a lot of moving parts.
For sure.
Between her having to do content, me working, the kids, the wedding, it was mayhem up until the actual day. And there were still some things that were happening that day that nobody kind of knew behind the scenes.
Of course.
But overall, we enjoyed every minute of it. We were completely present, and it was everything we wanted.
I got to say, as you know, I was thrilled to be there, and as friends of both of you, it was wonderful to see that indeed you were. It really felt like you guys were really locked in and present and just enjoying the moment, and that's what you hope for someone on that day, that they're not, that there aren't things that are pulling them away from really just being present and creating the memories that you want for that day. Yeah. But that doesn't always happen, right?
No, it doesn't always happen. And that was one of the reasons we wanted to have an unplugged wedding with no electronics, which we did. And everybody enjoyed it and had to have conversations and really stay present.
Yeah.
And that's what we always talk about, just even in my coaching business, and you and I talk about, is staying present is one of the hardest things to do. Right. Sure. Not worrying about what's coming, not worrying about the past, but being present.
Yeah.
And obviously without electronics, you are forced to be present.
Yeah.
And talk to other human beings and have, conversations and meet new people. And it's what an idea.
It's crazy. Yeah.
What a concept.
But I wrote this in my card to you. I'm not sure if you read cards, but being, I was with you traveling when you and Michelle met, and I've had the pleasure and privilege of, dare I say, rooting for you for the last 2 years through geographical challenges and other challenges. Sure, and to see it come to that kind of fruition was, as your friend, as I say, as someone that loves you both, like, it is just,
thank you, man.
It is just really. so much joy, so much joy.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's an amazing love story, and she's awesome, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Yes. Speaking of beautiful things, I'm not sure if
no, I did not see you dance in pink boots. Don't ever use that as a segue again. No, not a chance, sir.
You're right. That's not 1-to-1. That's not a great comparison.
I knew it as soon as you said it. Speaking of beautiful things, Spinelli in pink boots, not great.
The boots themselves, however,
are beautiful.
And Finola, Christina, and Lynn in those boots were beautiful indeed. But
so funny.
Yeah, no, man. The first day of Nurses Ball performances, it was Geo doing Geo stuff, which is, I mean, it's a tough act to follow. Let's be real.
I don't want to follow that ever again.
I mean, the good thing, I guess the good thing is that there is no there's no wink in any sort of in Geo's act. It's just pure talent, right? There's no
no,
right? Like if to go, I guess it's the perfect follow up to something that is so I don't want to call it serious. It's not, it doesn't mean he's taking himself too seriously. It's not that. It's like, it's just so super talented and its own
it's
thing.
just not even, it just shouldn't
Yeah.
even be put together.
Right.
It's like these two things don't go together. Right.
And yet,
Like,
yeah.
and yet, but so we'll get to your nurses ball for a second, but I was just thinking if we happen to go to Graceland again, I'm not sure. And I don't know if they're doing a nurses ball there again. I don't know if there's going to be performances. I don't know if they even want us to perform.
Right.
But I will say this. If it does happen,
yes,
we will be opening for him.
There you go. That's right. That's right.
I'm not letting him, I'm not following him.
Yeah. Yeah.
We give him the respect and honor that he deserves for his talent, which he would fight against. But we will open for him.
That's right.
That's how it should be.
Last year it was the other way around, and it felt didn't feel right.
Didn't feel right. It felt didn't feel good. But
well, when Geo starts and then a couple monkeys and some cymbals come out afterwards, it doesn't.
Geo, and then Dumb and Dumber, ladies and gentlemen. It's like, and one guy's karaoke and the other guy can actually sing. So it's just like, what are we doing here? The nurses ball, go for it.
Yeah. And so I was so delighted to be asked, and I got to tell you, and Steve, you'll understand what I mean by this. Like it's always fun to perform. It's fun to hear that people enjoyed it. The best part for me was getting to spend so much time with Finola, Christina, and Lynn. Like, when we're on set, when we're doing scenes together, you're spending time, but you have a goal. You don't have a whole lot of time to socialize because you're saying lines to each other. When you're in rehearsal for 6-7 hours over a course of a few days and learning choreography, and you're in something together that's a challenge that you're working towards. And it's just, I was looking around that whole time going, how lucky am I? I get to just like hang out with these people.
Totally.
And I don't get that,
yeah, that feels like probably what you did when you were doing theater, having that company time.
Rehearsal's the best.
Yeah. When you don't when you don't have it really here, we go up on stage, you can run lines a little bit, but you're not spending 3 hours working a scene or working a routine or something. So that's good, man.
Yeah. So that was so fun. And, obviously Finola is a very accomplished dancer. Lynn and Christina haven't done as much of it. And so, but they had an incredible sense of humor about the challenge of it and really rose to the occasion and just had good, the thing with the nurses ball, especially if it's not something you're comfortable with, you have to have a good sense of humor about it. Or
sure.
Cause if you take yourself, if you kind of half-ass it, and you kind of look down on it, you end up looking more silly than you would do you know what I'm saying?
Of course.
You have to just go in.
Commit.
You have to commit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And they did such a good job lighting it. Like everything looked so beautiful. Like it's funny, we didn't even see it because we were facing the audience, but they had this like beautiful rising sun behind us. And the joke was that the joke was that Tracy was supposed to do it and then got arrested because Drew planted ketamine in her car.
Did that air already?
Yes.
Tracy
doing ketamine?
What is going on here?
So she gets arrested, so she can't do it. So they have to have a last minute replacement. And so I walk in with my hat, bowed down. And then when I start singing, I lift it up and it's the reveal. So anyway, it was so much fun to do. I do not recommend, if you were wondering and if you were curious, I do not recommend dancing in women's cowboy boots if you haven't done it before. It's I'm not sure what you do in your spare time, Steve. Actually, I'm with you a lot in your spare time. I've never seen you do that, but it is challenging, and you got to have like a good calf massage afterwards because it's But we're taping this. By the time you guys see this, I think the whole Nurses Ball will be done. So curious what your favorite performances was. I'm not lobbying for you to tell me that my performance, but we're curious. So leave that in the comments of wherever you're watching. Speaking of live performance, I feel like we should mention.
Sure, we should.
Yeah. We coming up in July, we have a pretty good run of shows, which we're really excited about. We're doing Tempe, Arizona, which is very cool. We haven't played. It's a new club in Tempe that we have. I'm not sure if it's a new club, but we've never played this club in Tempe, so we're excited about that. Hitting our old stomping grounds in Addison at the Addison Improv, which we love. Going up to Tulsa, Oklahoma, which we've never
been there.
Never played there.
Yeah.
Kansas City, Missouri.
Yep.
Des Moines, Iowa. And Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I don't think I missed any. I don't think I missed any.
No, that's 5. Yeah.
Looking
forward to it. It's gonna be a blast.
That's right. And if you're unsure what we do a 90-minute music and comedy show. So we each do a little bit of stand up on our own. There's singing. There's audience participation. There's bits that we do together. Yeah. It is. I don't want to say it's like the best thing for a General Hospital fan, but it's pretty great.
Pretty close. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fun.
We have a lot of fun. Yeah.
We love doing it. And I think that's the energy that people get from it, that we're just having a great time. We're so grateful to be able to get up there and do some stuff and have fun for you guys too. And come together because of our show, General Hospital.
That's right. We do have time for a couple questions. So I'm getting these from our Facebook page. This is a great question from Susan. How many sets are there for GH? Are they housed all in the same place, or do some sets get taken to a storage place? That's a great question, Susan.
Okay, Susan, great question. I'm gonna look right now. Just give you an example. Today there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sets up today.
Okay.
That they're doing scenes in. So the night crew basically will strike. The nurses hub is always up. The nurses station hub, whatever you want to say. But if the brown dog needs to be up, then the night crew puts it up, the night of.
Yeah.
So it's ready in the morning, and sometimes
or the night before. Right.
Night before, yeah.
Morning of, yeah.
Morning of, and sometimes they're still kind of touching up the paint because they put the walls together. They're doing, putting props in still, pictures, whatever, hanging pictures. So it depends on what the script calls for. Basically, that's the answer.
Yeah.
So today's 8. Sometimes, it's been empty lately. So there was probably 4 or 5 sets up, and then all of a sudden you could be jam-packed with 12 sets.
That's right. And we do have a storage facility, a warehouse that is connected to our set. Big, 30-foot ceilings. I don't know how.
I mean, maybe higher. I don't know.
Maybe higher with huge, a sliding door, so they can bring in the sets. They store them there, but that's also where if there's a car that needs to be on set, they bring it through that door.
Yeah.
It's all, and it's right attached, so that's nice. And I think for certain sets that are mobile, they try to do this, and you could be wrong. If they try to bring in sets that will be up for a few days, right? They
don't want to strike. They don't want to continue to strike sets. So
right,
sometimes they'll pull scenes from future shows and go, hey, let's just shoot all of Sonny's new house together because it's a big set, and then we can get rid of it and we can fit 2 sets where this 1 set is.
I mean, so that's how you think about like the coordination and the organization that you have to have. It's like, okay, we have this 1 set up. We want to have it up for 2 days. We want to shoot all the shows that are going to use this set for the next couple weeks. What directors do we need to do that? What actors do we need to do that? What pages is that? Like, so there's and that's for every set. Like there's so many moving parts, and and then you have to get the make sure the lighting designer knows what's going to be there, what time of day it is, all that stuff.
Where the scene's taking place.
Yeah.
In the set, so we can make sure there's lighting, because a lot of times we shoot upstage. Like in Sonny's new house, it's a deep set, so we're upstage a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's cool.
But Yeah, that's a great question,
Great
Susan.
question.
Let's see. We have Monique says, "Will there be official Nurses Ball T-shirts this year?" Monique, yes, I think I saw them. I think it's kind of a retrospective of all previous Nurses Ball logos. I think is what it is.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we have new T-shirts up on our site as well.
Yeah, just in case you were wondering,
Yeah.
you know,
We do
we
have
got some new gear up there.
Yeah, we
Come
have
on.
a
Let's
fun
go for it, though.
new T-shirt, and we have if you're unfamiliar with our merch, you can go to stonecoldandthejackal.com, hey, click on merch, and you can see all of our offerings. We're so glad to be back doing these. We'll be coming back more with guests and more show stuff. As we said, we have some help with a couple people that really watch the show and know what's going on, so we'll be able to. As a team, be able to talk about the show a little more intelligently. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for
you guys are
being
awesome.
patient through this transition. And there's going to be plenty more to come.
And plenty of more dogs barking.